Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Very good evening. So today we will wait some time more to join other participants. Till that waiting time, if you have any doubt, any question, you can ask me. I hope you are getting that link which we are shared yesterday on chat box. If you have any question regarding last three session, you can ask me. If you have any question, any doubt. Students, if you have any doubt regarding last three sessions, please ask me on chat box. Okay. So if there are not have any doubt, then we can continue a next part. If there are not have any doubt, then we can continue the next part. Every day, I am saying that things, that points, what we are cover a day. So today we are going to discuss array and arrays class. So that things we are discussed today. So I'm going to share my screen. Just wait. Okay. So I hope my screen are visible and I'm clearly audible to you. Is my screen are visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So good evening, everyone. What's the things we are going to learn today? Today we are going to cover the arrays concept from Java Oops. So that's why I need to create one new file. So let's create one new file. So here I'm open Project Explorer. After Project Explorer from Technowings Java, we have core Java package. Within that core Java package, I'm going to create one new file. That's a Java file. That file name is arrays. Arrays. We require public static void main method. Okay. So that's arrays we are going to learn. Okay. In today's session, we are going to practice some problem statements also. That problem statement are depend on what the things we are learn from our first day. So from our first day, we are started the concept of Java, that the basic concept that is the introduction of Java. After that, why it's important, what's the current requirement in IT industries, and after that we are discuss that things why the specific domain is required, that specific domain is the full stack, what's the concept are covered in a full stack. After that we are started how we can from a basic things, that means how to compile a Java program. Before that we are cover that how to create a project, what the things are done in background when we are compile our Java program. After that, we are learn the basic concept of identifiers, literals. After that, we are learn the decision making statement, that is a if switch. After that, we are learn control statement, that is a loops. So that all things we are learn yes till yesterday. And today we are going to discuss the arrays. So let's continue. So the question is, what is the array? So what is the array? Array in a Java, it is a data structure. What? Array in a Java is a data structure that allows you to store multiple values of the same type. It's a continuous memory location. Arrays is a fixed size. Once you are declare array, it's have a fixed size. Index collection of element where each element can be accessed using an index. So arrays have some characteristics like it's a fixed size. Once an array is created, its size cannot be changed. It's a homogeneous elements. All that means all elements in an array must be of the same type. We have index-based access. That means element can be accessed using an index. It's starting from 0. We have stored data in continuous memory. It's help in fast access and manipulation. Arrays are provide efficient processing. That means it's provide better performance due to sequential memory allocation. So arrays are useful when dealing with the multiple elements of the same type. They provide fast access using index, but it's have fixed size. So let's see how we can create array. So to create array, here for demonstrate that array, I'm going to create one method. So look here, how I can create a method. Of course, that's a static method I'm going to create because I don't want to create object. It will be a call using a class name. So I create a method. That method name is initialize and assign. So that method are not accept any argument. So we can write it to initialize an assignment of array. So let's see how we can create array. There are multiple ways to create array. So what's the first way? Look here. First, you need to write a type. That means which type of array you want to create. That type you need to write. After that, the square bracket. After square bracket, that square bracket indicate that type assign for a array. After that, the array name like it's a static array. It's a static array. After that, to assign values within that array, we are use after equal to curly bracket open curly bracket close semicolon for end statement, and within that curly bracket open and close, we are assign element. So that's the element I'm assign here. Okay. Okay. So that's a one way that statically initialize direct values with the array. So here we are a given direct element. And how many elements are there? 6 elements are there. That means our array size is a 6. After that, there are one another way to create an initialize array. That another way is what? Look here, I create one another array. That array name is dynamic array. Okay, what's the meaning of that statement? Look here, I create one array. That array name is a dynamic array and it's a type of integer. I use a new keyword to allocate a memory for that array. And how many size I'm allocate for that array? It's a 5. It's a 5. So that's a different way.
So your microphone is off.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yes. From which line I am not audible? From your code? Can you tell me?
From static array, sir.
From starting array. Oh. That means this setting are not accept. This unit. Okay. So, okay, once again. We are going to learn arrays, right? So, what is the array? Array is a data structure that allows you to store multiple values of a same type in continuous memory location. It is a fixed size, indexed collection of elements where each elements can be accessed using an index. So arrays are useful when dealing with multiple elements of the same type. They provide fast access using an index, but have a fixed size. Okay. So here in a line number 5, I create one method. That method name is initialize, initialize and assign array. Okay. So here we are going to learn how we can declare array. So in a line number 6, I create one array that type of integer. So how we can create array? Students, please wait there. I need to find out right now who are going to off my mic. So please wait there. Without finding that things, I'm not continue today's session. Okay, so let's continue. So here we are discuss arrays, and in a line number 6 I create, in a line number 6 I create one array. And how we can create array? The type, after type square bracket, after that array name, that array name is a static array. After that equal to sign, that's our sign values. Within a curly bracket we are write elements of array, and each element are separate by comma. And after closing curly bracket we are use semicolon. So here the size of array is a fix. That means how many elements we have within a static array? 6 element. That means the size of that static array is a 6. It cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. So that's the one way to create array. After that, there are one another way to create array. So for that demonstration, I write line number 8. So here I declare a type of array. It is an integer. After write int, I write array name. And that array name is what? Dynamic array. What's the array name? Dynamic array. After that, I want to assign some size for that array. So that's why after write a dynamic array, I required to declare that array, that object is a type of array. So that's why a square bracket I'm right there. And after that, to assign a memory for that array, I use assignment operator, and after assignment operator new keyword, so it's allocate a new memory for that dynamic array. But we need to fix the size, so that's why it is a int, and that size of array is a 5. So that's the one another way to create, to initialize array. After once we are initialize that dynamic array and fix that memory size, we required to assign some values. And for assign some values for that dynamic array, I'm use here a loop, and that's a for loop. Of course, there are static way to assign array is like you can use a dynamic array. The square bracket 0, that means it's index number equal to 101. So that's a one way to assign element of array, but we don't want to use that things, right? We don't want to use that things. So we can assign arrays element dynamically. So that's why I create one for loop, and that for loop iterating variable is I. It's initialized with the 0. After that, I required one condition that I is greater than, sorry, less than dynamic array. Okay, but how the dynamic array is greater than I? Because I need to calculate size. Otherwise, it's not possible to create that condition, right? So that's why I create condition that I is less than dynamic array dot length. So what is the length there? Look here, when you are use arrays within a Java, length is a variable, and that variable have a value. That means that variable holding a value or assign value at runtime. So when you use arrays, the length is a variable type. So here I write that things that I is less than dynamic array dot length. After that, I require to increment. So it will be increment till the size of array. And after that, I need to assign a value. So to assign a value, I just use the array name. The array name I'm use. After that, a square bracket. Within a square bracket, we need
Hello,
to
Pata.
within a excuse me.
बाहेर कुठं
Okay. Within a square bracket, we need to write the index number, and we are assigned value from a zero. That's incremented zero. So that's why I write dynamic array of I that started from zero index is equal to is equal to is equal to that I plus 1 into 5. Okay. So here we are assigned multiplies of 5. That means that value we are assigned there within that I value, and it will be index will be increment till the end of length. And after that things, I need to display that values. So that's what I need to display values. So here we require to display a array that is a static array. Okay. So look here, what are the things I'm right there? If someone are not mute me, then you will be understand that things very well. Because whatever things I'm explained there, it's a muted, and I'm surprised for that. Okay. So the array. There are number
Excuse
of
me,
ways.
sir.
Yes.
I am not able to understand what you are saying.
What you're
Saying,
that's why I'm told you that when I'm explain that the basic things, someone are muted me, and I repeat
okay,
the things again. But if you are do that things frequently, I'm not going to explain anything. So once again, we are going to discuss arrays, right? So what is the array? Array is a data structure in Java that allows you to store multiple values of a same type. So array have a characteristic, that means array have a fixed size. That means once we are declare array, we cannot change the size. So how we can create array? There are number of ways to create array. From that number of ways, the first way, it's in line number 6. So here to create array, we are use first data type, that is a int. After that, a square bracket. After that, the array name, that array name is a static array. So we are create a static array, but it's not allocate any memory. We require some memory, and when it's allocate a memory, either a new keyword or either you directly assign the elements. So here after assignment operator, curly bracket open and curly bracket close, within that curly bracket we are assign the elements. So that's a static way. That means that way we are used when we are knowing that things, how many elements and which elements we have. On that time we are use that static array. But sometimes we doesn't aware about that things, what's the data or what's the element we need to insert within our array. On that time you require to initialize your array with a different type. So within a line number 8, within line number 8, I'm going to create one another array. That array type is integer. What? That array type is a integer. That array name is a dynamic array. After that, I use a square bracket because that dynamic array is a type of integer array. That's why we are use a square bracket. So square bracket indicate for whatever things we have, that's the type of array. After that, we require to assign some memory for that array. So that's why after assignment operator, we are use a new keyword. So new keyword are helpful to assign a memory for that array. But there are one rule that array is a fixed size. So that's why we need to say that how many size we have for that array. And for that purpose, after new keyword, we are use a data type, and within a square bracket, we are fixes that size of this array. That means whatever memory we are allocate for that array, it will be hold only 5 elements. That memory will be hold only 5 elements. So we are initialize array, and that's it, dynamic array, because at runtime it will be collect the elements. Most of time we are collect that elements from any data structure or database. Now that's the dynamic array. I want to assign element for that array. So what is the way to assign element for that array? Look here, that's a simple way. That highlighted way is a simple way. If you know what's the element you want to set within an array, a specific index, then you can use the array object. That array object name is a dynamic array. After that, square bracket. Within a square bracket, you are write index number, and within that index, whatever value we need to store, that value you can write after equal to, that is a 101. After assignment operator, that is a 101. So that's the most basic way to assign element for an array. But we need to assign that dynamically, right? So for that reason, I use a loop, because same action can be performed repeatedly using loop. So that's why I'm use here for loop. So I write for the iterating variable I, condition that I is less than dynamic array dot length. After that, it will be increment, and within for body, I'm going to assign values for arrays indexes. So dynamic array I, that means what? Dynamic array 0, because I is equal to 0 currently. When it's I is equal to 0, it will be assigned some values. For that purpose, I create one formula that I 0 plus 1 is 1 into 5. That means 5 value first assigned to first 0 index. And after that, I value will be increased. And it will be increased till it's satisfy that condition I less than dynamic array dot length. So it will be assign dynamically the array elements. So hope you understand right now. how we can create array, how to assign elements. So students, I just want to check that my voice is audible and screen are visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Samruddhi, please check on your side. Okay. So now that's most basic things. Same thing we are learn in C++, right? Did you learn that things previously in another language? Yes, right. But Java are provide some libraries. That libraries are able to manipulate arrays. What's that library? That library name is arrays. And using that library, here we are printing arrays. So that library, that means it's a class. That class name is arrays. It's available within a package java.util. From that package, we have one method. That method is a static type. So that's why we are called that method using a class name. That method name is a toString. That toString method converted our array into string. That toString method converted array into string. Why it's required to convert? Because we are dealing with outer resources, that means console. And console only understand a string type. Console are not understand that integer and other things. It's only understand string type. So that's why before showing arrays elements within a console, we required to convert it. So we are use a toString. So there are alternate things also available. That means, oh, I don't want to use that internal library toString. Instead that I can create my own. So I can use again for loop or for each loop or while loop or whatever loop we are use. And using that loop, we can iterate over array and showing the each element. That's also possible. What? That's also possible. So that's a way to initialize and assign array. Is it clear? Now, how it is a possible to update array element? How it is a possible to update array element? Look here on the same to update array element, we need to write array name. After that, the index number where we want to update any value. And after that, the value, well, that means element which we want to update. So using that simple way, it is a possible to update array element. But we are programmer. We are not going with a static way, right? So I'm going to show you one logic, and that using that logic, it is a most easy to update any array element of type integer. There are one question that's can we import package in Spring Tool? Yes. Look here, Spring Tool. What is the Spring Tool? Actually, it's a Eclipse only. Just they are embedded the Spring package with that Eclipse. So whatever things we are learn here, that all things available within the Spring Tool. And make sure you are downloaded Spring Tool for Eclipse. No, I'm not recommended any other things. Only Eclipse. Spring Tool for Eclipse. Okay, there are one another message that my screen are freeze. I just want to check that things. Did you get my highlighted a statement. That means, did you see that things? I just highlighted one statement. Okay, that means what? My screen are not freeze. Okay. So before enter any message, please check on your side, your network is have a good strength. Yes, of course. Instead of writing a util package in a sysout statement, you can, of course, you can directly use a using import. Why it is required to write their java.util arrays? Because we have same class name. Look here, that's highlighted thing. We have same class name. So for that reason, we have same class name. I need to write the absolute path of these arrays class. Okay. So can we move? Okay. So now let's do the update array with some logic. That logic we are using in IT industries. So now the things are changed. So that basic things we are learn here, how we can update, how we can create, how we can initialize. After that, to make you a skillful, I need to create one another demonstration example, and that demonstration I'm used for update array element. Okay, look here how I can write. So I write one method. Why we are use frequently we are use a method? Because we doesn't want repetitive things. Once we are right, we can use that things everywhere to avoid repetitive code. So here, to update element from array, I required first array, right? So I create one instance of array. That's the instance. So in our second session, we are learn to create object, right? What is the object? Which instance allocated a memory, that instance called object. What means the instance? Instance is like a shadow of object. That shadow not have any physical memory. It will be assigned at runtime. So when it's initialized. So here, to update element of array, we required first array. After that, what are the things we required to update elements? We required index number. Without index number, it is not possible to update array element. So index number. Look here. I'm going to show you how to implement your logic. It's the most basic things to implement a logic. It's the most basic things to implement logic. I'm going to show you that things. So here I create a method. Okay. So after that, what are the next things we require to update array element? We required a new element, that which we need to insert within array. So that's why it's a integer new value. That three arguments we require. After that, curly bracket open, curly bracket close. What is the purpose to create that method? To update array element. Whatever array you are right there, that type of integer. So that method is suitable to update array element. Okay. So we are write once and use everywhere. So here within a method, here within a method, we are write some acknowledge message there first. That's message is what? Updating array element. After writing this message, I need to update element, right? And for that update element, I need to create a logic, because that method I will use for each and every integer type of array. So that's why I'm create my logic that if the index is less than 0, or that's the or operator, index is greater than equal to array dot length. So here I create one simple logic that index is less than 0, or index is greater than equal to array dot length. If that things are happen, then what the things I need to do? I need to show the error, right? So that's why sys out. So what's the error we need to display? That error is invalid index. That error is invalid index. And what's the index? That index we need to print. Okay. So here we are handle error without exception handling. Please off your mic. Okay, that's good. Okay. So here we are handling the errors if that index is invalid. If index is invalid. After that, please off your mic. Please. Okay. And after that validation, I just use one validation. After that validation, I need to print my array before update. Okay. So that's why I'm going to write. What's the things I need to write? Two string I use there from arrays. That's array before update. Array before update. And that's array. And use java dot util dot arrays dot toString. And what's my array name? It's a ARR. That array will be printed there. Okay. Next line. Once we are printed array. Once we are printed array. Now we require to write a logic to update element, and it's a basic logic. Array of index. Array of index. After that, we are assign a new value. That is a new value. New value. And after update these things, I need to display the updated elements. So that's why it's a updated element. After update. So I hope you understand that most basic logic to update an array element dynamically. So let's execute that things. For execute that things, we have static method. So within main, we are use a class name. That class name is arrays. Dot. The method name is what? It's a second method we have, update array element, right? So for update array element, we need to assign array as argument. So that's why I create one simple array. So that simple array, we already create that array. I'm going to use here. Copy. And that static array, I'm going to write here. It's a static array, right? So I'm provided array as an argument for my method. After that, we require array index and new value. So array index, it's 20. I need to change, right? So 0, 1, 2. So array index is a 2. So it's holding currently 20 value. And what's the new value? New value I required, it's 55. Save. So let's execute and check the things. So the second index value will be changed after update, that is a 55. So hope you understand that simple things to how we can update array element using method dynamically. In which situation you are use a static array when you have the elements, the fixed element, like suppose you write a program for your institutions. Hmm? And for that program, you have your student list with roll numbers, right? So to assign roll numbers for your students, you can use a static array. You can use a static array. But if you don't aware about this roll numbers, that means how you can assign roll numbers? Any institution can be assigned roll numbers alphabetically. That alphabetically start from not a first name, it's a start from last name. And also from that assignment, the first priority is girls. So you need to write these logic first. On that scenario, you can use the dynamic arrays, right? So Sukanya, is it clear? I'm explain both things where you can use a static and dynamic. Okay. Samruddhi, what the things you want to repeat? Please tell me. Yes. If you are unable to on your mic, please type there. Which things you want to repeat? Okay. 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 So to update any element from array, what's the simple way? That directly write array name. After array name, square bracket is there. Within a square bracket, we need to write index number, which index we want to update, the assignment operator, and after that new value which we want to assign for that particular index. That's the logic, right? But tell me, Samruddhi, if you want to update any element in frequent way, can you use the same code again and again? Instead that you can write it once and you can invoke that things everywhere where you want, right? So that's why we are create uh, uh, that's a demonstration for not only update array element, it's also how we can create a logic. Okay, so suppose you have a number of arrays, and from that number of arrays you require to update element. So every time you required to write array name, array index in a square bracket, array index, after that assign a new value, right? Instead write this a statement every time. It you can use a method. So you need to create your own logic within that method. So here we are create one update array element method name, line number 16. That method accept some values. That values is what? Explain this again. That value is what? First one is array. First one is array object instance. It's an instance, not object. First one is array instance. Second one is array index where we require to update. Third one is what's the new value we need to insert within that index. So that three things we require, right? After that, we are acknowledge user, we are going to update array element. After that, most of time, if that index is wrong, that means suppose I have array with a 5 size and user enter index number is a 6 or 7, then of course it's wrong. It's a generate error. So here we are validate that things if index is less than 0 or index is greater than array size, that array dot length, then we need to print a error, that system dot error. What is the error? In a first, I maybe for in a first session we are discussed that things. There are standard streams error in out. That standard stream are able to communicate with the third party resources. Like here we are printing that our statement within a console. So console is not our program part, it's a third party resource. So on a console we are going to print error, that is it is invalid index and that index number, right? So we are validate that things index is a proper and correct. After that I need to show what is the original array. So that's why in line number 22, I write array before update, and I'm use their arrays.toString method. After that, in line number 23, actual, I am update my array, that array index equal to new value. And after that, I am again show the updated array using arrays.toString. So that is a simple method. I'm right there. It's a business logic. That logic you can prepare when your work in your companies. So that's things are important there. How to create a logic. So here I show you one demonstration how to create a logic for update array element. After that, we require to invoke that method. So I'm write one array within a main method. Uh, 1 minute. That is a static array. A static array holding some elements. After that, I call my update array element method and assign argument, that is a static array. Second index I want to update, and new value is a 55. So that's a simple thing. Hope you understand that things. So students, I just want to check that my voice is audible and screen are visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
there are
sir.
some questions. I'm going to answer that questions. Wait. I'm going to answer that questions. So what's the first question there? Okay. There are questions regarding array list. That how does array list manage resizing internally? Look here. Whatever question you are asked there, it's a advanced part. That means Java also support some arrays that arrays is resizing. That means there are collection framework. That collection framework are work over objects. So there are number of classes like a vector class is there. Vector class are provide uh, the array which can dynamically increase or decrease, and all the list classes like array list are inherit that vector class, and that's the reason that array list are re have a feature resizing. So is it understand by Bajrang Patil? Yes, Bajrang. Okay, so what's the next question? Why we are using a toString method? Look here. We have array, right? And I need to display array elements. So what is the easiest way to display array elements? There are two ways to display array elements. Uh, either you can use a system.out.println, and within that println you can access array index one by one. That means number of system that statement you need to write. It's a repetitive thing, and we need to avoid repetitive things. Alternate way is you can use a loop, and using a loop you can iterate over an object and display the element. Instead that, it's a most easiest things is what? To manipulate arrays, Java provide one class. That class name is arrays. These class are available in java.util package. These class are holding number of methods. We are going to use that methods. From that methods, there are one method toString. That toString method convert array into string. And when it's a convert array into string, then our all array elements we can display on a console without use any loop. So only that's the reason why we are use a toString. Is it clear, Tanish, Shivsharan?
Sir?
Yes. Is it clear why we are use a toString?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Uh, Sukanya. Yes, it is a possible that we can create our own dynamic array class in Java without using array list. So how it is possible? You need to extend one class. That class name is what? Vector class. So when you are extend vector class, that means inherit vector class, then your class will be able to create a dynamic array in a Java. Sukanya Wag, are you there? Okay. So let's move. Okay, before move, we need to practice, right? Because array is that things we require more practice. So here, I'm going to share that code with you for your review. So I'm going to share that code on our chat box. So I'm going to share that code here within our chat box. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to give some questions for practice purpose. And everyone needs to write these logics. The first one, it's regarding arrays. So we have learned that arrays. So that's why I'm given that questions to you. And that all logic you must be right using methods. All logic you must be right using methods. That information is what you need to print. Okay, so that's the first question for you. You can start to write a code. That's the first question for you. That what's the question there? You required to print array length, and after print array length, you required to iterate array using different loop. That means how many loops are there? 4 loops are there, right? Okay, so that's your first question. With a different loop, you can print index and element for each array. So is it clear? What's the question? To initialize array, we have learned 2 ways. That one way is a static, second way is a dynamic. That 2 ways we are learned. You can use any one way to initialize your array and write a program to print array length and iterate a same array with a different types of loop and print array index is assigned a specific element. That things you need to print. What's the significance? That significance is what? To understand that array is a update.
Sir, should we
Okay.
use static array initialization or dynamic array initialization?
Yes, that's your choice. But I will tell you,
Okay.
you can go with dynamic because maximum time we are use a dynamic array because we are like suppose you have one system that admit students, and that admit students for any course, you are given one form. When that student will be enter a form details, it will be admit into your college when they are paid fees and submit that form. So the institute are doesn't aware about that student. They are aware on that time when they are fill and submit a form, and that form data is stored within an array. So that time we are use a dynamic array. So that's a good practice. You can use a dynamic array instead of static. Okay, what's the question? You required to print array length. Okay, and iterate using different loops. How many loops are there? For while, do while, for each. That for loop you need to use there for demonstration purpose. And using that for loop, what's the output we require? The index number equal to the element. That output we require. For example, in line number 7, we have one array. So what's the output we required? The index number 0 is equal to 10. The index number 1 is equal to 78. Like the index number 5 is equal to 60. That output we require for all loops, not only one loop. Is it clear? Once again, I'm tell you that things. What's the recommended approach? When you are knowing that how many elements you have and which elements you have within your array data, you can go with a static. Otherwise, that's a recommended way. It's a dynamic, because most of time we doesn't aware about that data. It will be, we can collect it from user, collect from database, collect from other resources. So the for better practice, you can go with a dynamic way. So I hope that all answers. Okay, so I get one code. Look here. Don't use a chat GPT or any AI model, because they are create you lazy. Huh? It's the most basic things you can try with yourself. So Sukanya, okay, is she's used same my code for, okay, that's good. Okay, that's a good try, Sukanya. But one things you are always remember, what's the question? Question is what? We require to print array length, iterate using different loop and print index and element. But that all things we need to perform using methods. Like I show you how we can create logic for update array element. So you need to create your own logic for doing the same thing to print index and elements. Do not go with a static. Don't go with a static. Every time you can use a dynamic things. Till your response, I'm going to off my mic. Rohit, you are doing a same static way like VAC. Do not go with a static way. You need to create your own method to perform that operation. Rohit, did you hear me? Rohit Tamkhani. Okay. Yes, of course. But just you need to print that using array object dot length. Or there are static ways what to find array length. You need to iterate till last element. So we can directly find it using array object dot length. Then what is the point if you using different looking statement to do the same job? The point is what? For practice purpose only. That means you must aware about that things. You can do a same job with a different ways. So that's why I'm telling you that question. Okay. So that's Hamida array station example. Okay, that's good. Hamida, public static void main. You are also doing the same thing. We doesn't require the all things within a main. We need to split it using methods. We need to split it using methods. Hamida, are you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Look here. सगळ्यांना मराठी समजतं. मी ज्या गोष्टी
Yes, sir.
आतापर्यंत सांगितल्या त्याच परत सांगतोय. आपण आता सिंगल फाईलचा प्रोग्राम करत नाही आहोत. म्हणजे आता आपण करतोय, पण आपण काय शिकतोय? जावा फुल स्टॅक. आणि जावा फुल स्टॅक करताना आपल्याला खूप सारे मेथड्स लिहावे लागतात बिझनेस लॉजिकसाठी. ज्या मेथडचा आपण रिपिटेटिव्हली उपयोग करू शकतो कोड पुन्हा पुन्हा लिहिण्यापेक्षा. मग त्यासाठी आपल्याला आत्तापासूनच प्रॅक्टिस करावी लागणार आहे त्याची, की आपल्याला वेगवेगळे मेथड्स तयार करता आले पाहिजेत आणि त्या मेथडमध्ये लॉजिक इम्प्लिमेंट करता आलं पाहिजे स्वतःचं. जसं की मी इथे एक तुम्हाला लॉजिक इम्प्लिमेंट करून दाखवलं, अपडेट ॲरे एलिमेंट. नाहीतर तुम्ही एका एका लाईनमध्ये सुद्धा अपडेट ॲरे एलिमेंट करू शकता. पण इथे मी तुम्हाला प्रॉपर लॉजिक तयार करून दाखवलं, की ॲक्चुअली कशा प्रकारे आपण हे इम्प्लिमेंट करू शकतो. जेणेकरून रिपिटेटिव्ह कोड अवॉइड होईल. There are one code. I need to check that code. Okay. So Bajrang Patil, You are perfectly understand that things we require to create a method. So you are create a print length method, and it's holding one instance of array as argument. Okay, array length are printed. After that, you are use a for loop for iterate array object. That's good. That's good. Okay. While loop. Yes, that's good. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So I hope that Bajrang Patil are getting that all things which we are learn here. Bajrang, are you there? Okay. After that, Sushant is there. Student, मी तुमच्या फायद्यासाठी सांगतोय चॅट जीपीटी किंवा इतर कुठल्याही एआयचा वापर करू नका कोडिंग शिकताना. कारण कोडिंग ही अशी गोष्ट आहे ज्याच्याने तुमची बुद्धी तल्लख होती, तुमचं स्किल वाढतं. आणि जर याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही कुठल्या इतर एआयची मदत घेतली तर ते तुम्हाला तुमचं लॉजिक क्रिएट करण्यापासून ब्लॉक करतं. म्हणजे तुमचं लॉजिक स्वतःच कधीच क्रिएट होऊ शकणार नाही. तुम्ही फक्त रेडी कोड वापरू शकता. So avoid to use AI to write a program because it's your learning phase. हा तुम्ही वापरा, कधी वापरा जेव्हा तुमची लर्निंग फेज संपेल, जेव्हा तुम्ही एक्सपिरियन्स होचाल प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये. Okay, that's for Sushant. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, perfect, Sushant. After that, Aditya Kolhapure. That's good, Aditya. You are use a dynamic array, but Aditya, you are doing the same thing that you are go with a static way. I'm not recommended that things. Whatever logic you need to write within a method. So whatever things you are write, it's a write within a main. That means all logic will be executed at once. But if that logic you required again and again, then you need to print that code again and again. So that's not good practice. So always to create any logic, you are use your own method. What's his name? Aditya Kolhapure. Aditya Kolhapure. After that, Arundhati. Okay, that's good. You are create your own method. Okay, okay, okay. So that's good, Aditi. So what about others? Other members? So other members, please post your code here. But make sure before post your code, you must be use methods to create your logic. Okay. So Jamadar, you write code very well. That's good. Okay. So I hope everyone are understand how we can manipulate array. Is it? Okay. So then we can move to a next part, that is a multi-dimension array. Hmm? And after that we can practice some more things. Okay. Okay. So here on the same class after main, in the same class after main, I'm going to create one another method for demonstrate multi-dimensional array. Okay, so it's a multi-dimensional array. I write one method. Okay. So before I write any program, we need to discuss some points. That points is what? What is the multi-dimensional array? A multi-dimensional array in Java is an array of arrays. It allows storing data in tabular form, that means rows and columns format, or even higher dimensions. So always remember that things. We have multi-dimensional array, that is a two-dimensional. Is a array store data in matrix format, rows and columns. The three-dimension arrays extend the concept of future. Each dimension is represented as an array of arrays. The elements are accessed using multiple indexes like rows and columns for multidimensional arrays. So how we can declare multidimensional array? So let's see. Single dimension array, there are static and dynamic things are there. Like there, a same thing for multidimensional array. So first, I will show that how you can declare multidimensional array. Okay. So here I'm going to use a different way, which that way we are not used previously. So first, so here we are use a multidimensional array to declare that using multiple square brackets. I'm given the most basic example of a multidimensional array. Okay. We are right, multidimensional array, right? Okay. Suppose we have one string type, and that string type is a multi-dimension. That is a two-dimension we are used right now. So that's why we are using a two square bracket. The first square bracket represent the first what we say. The first square bracket represent rows and second square bracket represent columns. So I need to show you that demonstration. For that demonstration, we are use names. Okay. So names we are use. It's simple and it will be developed fastly. So I will choose that names then for create these names logic. So string names after names. After names, I need to initialize the value statically here. So equal to curly bracket open, curly bracket close. Within that curly bracket, I need to use two-dimension values. So within that curly bracket, I use curly bracket open, curly bracket close, comma. It's for rows and for columns, curly bracket open, curly bracket close. That's for column. Now within that things, we required okay. So here we are create multi-dimensional array. Okay. How it's possible to create multi-dimensional array? The first one in this line number 33, I'm going to create a multi-dimensional array. That's array type is a string. After that, the first square bracket represent rows. The second square bracket represent columns. After that, names is my array name. Curly bracket open, curly bracket close. Within that curly bracket, we have two more curly bracket. First are represent captions that Mr., Mrs., Miss, and second curly bracket holding the surnames as elements. So we are declare two-dimensional array here using that way. After that, how we can access? How we can access? I want to access Mr. Danish. I want to access Mrs. Shukla. I want to access Miss Teli. To access these things, we require the indexes, and that indexes we require to print first to understand what's the indexes is where, right? And to print all elements using index, I'm use a loop. That loop is what? For loop I can use for. First thing is what? I want to print that all indexes. So that's what. Before write for loop, I just show acknowledge user that I'm going to display. Index. Okay. So that's why I'm using for loop. So it will be better understand to you how that matrix will be created there. So here I use a for loop. That for loop for use for printing all elements, and for that reason I required one iterating variable integer I. It's initialized with 0. After that, that I is less than names dot length. Okay. After that, we need to increment that I value, curly bracket open, curly bracket close. Within that curly bracket, here that for loop we are used to iterate over rows only. Now we require to iterate over columns also, right? And again, my voice is not audible. Students, I just want to hear that my voice is audible or not, because my mic is on there. I just want to check. Okay, okay. So just wait. I'm going to connect my charger. Battery down. Okay, now it's perfect. So the first for loop I write there to iterate over rows. And within that same for loop, I have one another for loop. It's called nested for loop. So for iterating variable is j is equal to 0, and it's have a condition j is less than names of I dot length. So here we need to iterate over columns. And to iterate over columns, we required one condition. That condition names of I dot length is greater than j. So that condition we are right there. So using that simple way, we are going to print the matrix. That means you can clearly understand which element holding which index. Okay. So names of I. Okay, so it will be print that perfect indexes is equal to plus names of ing. Okay, so here we are printed that all things, but it's not looking good. It may be a print side by side. So that's why after end in x internal for, after end internal for, here we required one new line. That's for new line. Okay. So that's a simple way to create a multidimensional array and iterate over multidimensional array to print array elements with index. So let's call that method within main. And if you check that things are printed there, yes. So you can get that all indexes where that elements are stored. The first and second columns are there and first is rows are there. So now how we can update element? Now all elements in front of you. Now it's possible to update element or display elements, right? So I want to display Mr. Danish. What's the indexes I need to write there? Yes, please tell me. Before that, you need to compile that program first. Because when I'm compile, I have some output on my side, but it's not display fully for you. So I'm going to post that method with you. So I'm going to post that method with you. Okay, that's method. Let's check output of this method. Let's check output of this method. And after that, check output of this method. And after that, tell me how.
अरे
Yes, I'm asking one question on our chat box. Please go through it. Once you are compile, you can get that all indexes where that elements are hold. Now, my question is what? How to print Mr. Danish and Mrs. Patil, Mrs. Tini. Yes, that's my question. Yes, absolutely right. What's your name? Bajrang. It's 10 is Danish. Okay. But we required Mr. Danish. So how you can print that Mr. Danish? Yes, 00 is a Mr. and 10 is a Danish. Absolutely right. Uh, Jamadar. That Samruddhi, you are wrong. 10 we are use 10 for what? Danish. But what's the question? We required Mr. Danish, Mrs. Teli. So Jamadar is correct. Uh, Students, please, who are on your mic. Now, Naveen. Naveen, please off your mic. Okay. So, so, so here Jamadar are given correct answer that we required names 00 and names 10 for Mr. Danis. What about Mrs. Teli? Yes, please tell me if I want to print Mrs. Teli. Mrs. Teli 01. Okay, 01 is a Mrs. After that, 12 is the Teli. Absolutely right, Bajrang Patil. 0112. Yes, Mrs. Teli. Correct, Sukanya. Okay. Now, I hope you understand that things how we can iterate over an object, that multidimensional object. After that, the next question regarding same thing. What's the value in 10 Danish, right? So instead Danish, I want to write, that means I want to update that Danish. Instead Danish, I want to write Bhosle. How it is possible? Instead Danish, I want to write Bhosle. Everyone, did you understand my question? Instead Danish, I want to update Bhosle. How it is possible to update? Instead Danish, I want to update a Bhosle. Yes, absolutely right. Uh, Absolutely right. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I'm given one new question for practicing, and you must be uh, post that and code within our chat box. Okay, that's question is what? Mm, Update. Okay, I write question here directly instead to write in chat box, so everyone can be check anytime. So update. Okay, that's a question. What's the question? You need to update array based on sum and differences of first two element. You need to print that differences of first two element. So I hope everyone understand that question. So that's a question for you. That question for single dimensional array. Practice for single dimensional array. Now I'm going to give a next question for you for multi-dimensional array. For multi-dimensional, there are a 2D array, 3D array, jagged array is there. So for multi-dimensional array, I'm going to enter a next question. Okay. Before enter next question, I'm going to explain question. Look here. Suppose you have one array. Suppose you have one array. First, you need to calculate a sum of this array and a difference in array. For example, if you have a length of array, that length is 3. Then first you need to print original array. After printing original array, you need to update second element as a sum of first two. Update second element as a sum of first two. That means suppose you have a 10 and 78 and 20. So you need to update the second element. What's the second element? 78. How it's a update? That means sum of first two. That means you need to make addition of 10 and 78. And after that, whatever result, that result you are update instead 78. Okay. Next, you need to update third element as a differences. Differences means what? It's a subtraction. Subtraction from the first index, subtract into, sorry, zero index, subtract into first index. And after that, whatever result, that means whatever new array, new updated array, you need to show that new updated array. So I hope you understand these things. Yeah, that's good. Hamida, always remember that things, whatever logic you are right, you must be right within a method. Which method you are create your own. Do not use main method.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a perfect. Hamida, you're right, correct code, but can you optimize that code? Look here, how I can write a code. It's perfectly optimized. You need to make, that means write a code with optimization. That means don't write that things lengthy. It's a possible to make your code short and simple. Please try it, Hamida.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, I'm going to given one new question for multi-dimensional array. Just wait. What's the question? I'm given a new question for a multi-dimensional array. Okay. I'm going to write all questions here. First, we can complete a single dimension. After that, I'm given a multi-dimension. Okay. Right. Okay, that's the second question. You need to find second largest and second smallest number in array. Hmm? Hope you understand that question. I'm making a question most easy for you. Otherwise, I will use examples like algorithms, like um, vector basis algorithms, like network algorithms. But I know most of students from diploma, right? So that's why I'm use some basic things only right now. But it is harder. That's good. Okay, that's enough. That three questions are enough for you for today's. But you must be solved that most. It's the most basic questions. You must be solved by your own. Don't use any chat GPT. It's the most basic. The first one is update array based on sum and difference of first two elements. Second question is what? Find out second largest and second smallest number within array. Third one is what? Um, if we have array like a 10, uh, 20, 30, 40, 50, and within that sequence, if one number is missing, like after 30, we have direct 50, then you need to find out that missing numbers. I hope that all questions understandable. Is any doubt regarding questions? Is any doubt regarding questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So during your response time, I'm going to update today's notes within our repository. I I hope that everyone have a link of this repository. Yes, all questions are regarding single dimension array. So just wait there. I'm going to update repository.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you just copy and paste the questions into the chat box?
Okay. No problem. I will do that things.
એટલે એવી રીતે એ દમને 2 મિનિટ
Student, do not leave a meeting. Just wait till I share that code which we are write today. My files. Java full stack.
It's not opening.
We are learn arrays, right? Okay. So I copy that a file within our Java full stack shared folder. The file name is a P8 arrays. So practical 8 arrays. That's a link for Java full stack. Same link I'm going to share on WhatsApp. Mm. So what's our group name? Okay. So I'm going to take your attendance. To download attendance. Okay. Now I'm going to end this session here. So thank you very much for attending today's class. See you tomorrow on same time with the same link. Thank you very much.
काय राव मधीच माईक चालू झालं हिंडका लागला सगळा